I think Padre Pio would be pleased to see this great turnout. And we hope that it will stay like this and expand itself. Pray, hope, and don't worry. That was the motto of St. Pio. He probably, next to St. Anthony and St. Francis, is the most revered saint of the Church. More people pray to him, St. Anthony and Francis, for spiritual help and strengthen their lives. St. Pio, if you read his life, was a remarkable person, even as a boy. He warded off the devil. And one day he was playing, and he was running through the fields. And all of a sudden, a dog followed him. But when the dog got closer, it was a wolf. And he ran into a barn and hid. And the wolf kept after him. And he made the sign of the cross and a puff of smoke. And he disappeared. And then the little holy brother came to him and he said, "Francis, what are you doing in here?" And he told the brother what happened. And when he went home, he told his parents, "You know, I want to be a Franciscan priest." "Why is that?" "So I can wear the little beard." That was his answer to his parents. He had some great jokes. You've got to read his life or see the film and understand the message he's bringing. And I think as we gather and as we participate in this, we need the spiritual strength of this man today. If he were living today, and the events that are happening in the church, he certainly would not only have chastised them, but he would have probably given them a severe penance for the rest of their lives and told them the rest will be in the hands of God when you appear before him. And then, like in the gospel, the darkness of Gehenna will be yours. St. Pio, we all love him. And we're going to come to get to know him better. We need to develop this sense of spirituality for the people of God. And what great way to do this is to form this Padre Pio prayer group here in Canton. Youngstown has one, but they only meet periodically. They all passed away except for a few. And they're trying to revitalize it again at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Parish. At one time, when I first joined, when I was in high school, there were 250 that belonged to the prayer group in Youngstown. We would meet at the Sacred Heart Retreat Center once a month. And then on the first Friday of the month, at that time, Bishop Malone said, "I'm going to ask the Padre Pio prayer group to take charge of the Nocturnal Adoration Society on the first Friday, round the clock." And they did that at St. Columba Cathedral. Faithfully, parish by parish, hour by hour, as Padre Pio prayed, hour by hour, never leaving Jesus alone. And then at 7 o'clock, they would have Mass in the cathedral after they reposed the Blessed Sacrament. And then it was, he was superintendent of schools, replacing Bishop Malone, was Franzetta, Monsignor Franzetta, who later became auxiliary bishop. But they were faithful to the commitment of what Padre Pio did. And Dominic Seminary, during the Second World War, met Padre Pio. That's how it got started in Youngstown. he served Mass for him. After the Allied forces went into Rome, they went and he wanted to see Padre Pio. Thanking God, he says, I want to thank God and see Padre Pio. He saved my life at Enzio. And many of those soldiers, one recounts he was flying over the area. And he swears to this very day, he's 92 years old, he belongs to St. Anthony's in Youngstown. But he said, I was flying the mission. And Padre Pio, I swear his hands were on our plane's wheel. I was piloting the plane. And I did not see the Nazi fighters coming up under me. And he said my plane kept going to the left, 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 and it was banking. And the co-pilot and I were trying to level it off. We couldn't. And then when we saw them in our sights, the rear gunner said, they're on our tail, and he got them. Then he said there was like a white light that came through his plane. And he said, we felt the warmth. And the plane leveled off, and we continued our mission. Or otherwise, we would have been dead. So he attributes that to Padre Pio, because he had great devotion to him. And that's why we're here tonight. We too have great devotion to Padre Pio. And we hope that this prayer group, month after month, that you will be faithful to it, to the meetings as we gather, and that it will grow as we bring the message of St. Pio Pietrelcina to all who want to come to know, love, and serve him.